Hi everybody, my name is Melissa Rebronja. I am a heart healer, hypnotherapist, energy healer, and today I am interviewing Yerasimos.
Yerasimos.
Welcome, Yerasimos.
It's good to be here.
Yeah,
Hi everybody.
And you have your own healing practice called Healing with Yerasimos.
That's right.
Beautiful. Tell us a little bit about your name, Yerasimos. I can say it because I'm Serbian and you're Greek, so Yerasimos.
Yerasimos. People either say that or they'll say Yerasimos, which is kind of the more Americanized version. But it's my given Greek name, and I was named after the patron saint of the island of Kefalonia, which is the island my father was born and raised on in Greece. Kefalonia, and it's in the Ionian Sea, closer to Italy.
Beautiful.
And he was known as the healer and protector of the island, and so it's kind of fitting that this is the kind of work that I'm into. And
wonderful, yeah. So Yerasimos and myself met in a bodywork training about a year or so ago.
Yeah, something like that.
And it was an amazing program, and you were there. You were part of the, guiding us and all that stuff because you went through the training before. And so you are a transformational body worker, and you're amazing because you've worked on me.
Thank you.
And the reason I wanted to interview you because this modality is quite unique. Like I've never experienced it before. I do use it with some of my clients because it's a unique way to get people to get in touch with what's really going on in their bodies, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So tell us a little bit more about the modality. Like, what is it exactly?
The main modality that I use in the work that I do, it's a tool where I'm using my feet with deep rhythmic pressure and walking on different parts of the body that correlate with the Chinese meridians.
Yes.
So we're going deep in there to help remove stagnation in the energetic channels, tension in the structural tissues, get blood flowing, lymph flowing, bioelectricity flowing.
Yes.
And again, different meridians in Chinese medicine also correlate with different qualities of
they mean different things. So just so that you guys are clear, what it looks like is you lie down on your stomach. Well, actually, all on your back.
It depends where you're working.
And you put a walker on top of the person, and then you walk on different parts of their bodies, and usually it's the back of the legs, right?
Foundationally, I start off working on the backs of the legs.
Yes.
Because we're dealing with the bladder channel, the bladder meridian. And in Chinese medicine, it's the largest meridian in the body. It has the most points. And it's an emotional channel, so we're really working on emotional honesty and helping open up any traumas that are held in the body, any tissues that are holding tension and trapped emotions, trapped consciousness.
Yeah, I've been using breath work as a way to connect people with their emotions, but this is like a whole other level because we know that the body doesn't lie.
Yeah.
So when you kind of poke the body will tell you what's going on and what needs to be released.
And the interesting thing too with this bodywork that's kind of different than some other more conventional modalities is we're combining the deep work with conscious deep breathing as well.
Yes, exactly.
So when I start working on a client, I'll ask them this question: if 10 is pure pain, 1 is pure pleasure, 5 is neutral, meaning there's no pleasure or pain, it kind of just feels like someone's walking on you, like pressure. What's your level of comfort or discomfort? They'll tune into their body and they'll give a number.
Yes.
Then based on that, I'll have them breathe relative to that.
Yes.
So if they're at neutral, they're conscious of their breath coming in, coming out. But as the sensation or pain increases, they're breathing deeper and faster.
Yes.
And that serves multiple purposes. One being you're oxygenating the system, you're moving energy. 2, you're you're activating the parasympathetic nervous system.
Yes.
Which helps kind of counteract fight or flight.
Yes.
Because, in life, and again, you're aware of this, in life, when people are stressed out or dealing with a trauma or anxious, most people aren't breathing there.
Exactly.
So we kind of want to reprogram as you're going through this process, experiencing high sensation, you're breathing through it.
Well, because of the pain, it like forces you to breathe. It can be like, I mean, let's be honest, it can be painful, right?
Yeah, it can be.
Yeah.
But our pain points are growth points.
Exactly. Yes.
In a certain way, and we go into the pain ultimately to get to the pleasure.
Yes. So what are some of the interesting things like? So say if the pain is on your left, the back of your left thigh, you're a bit of an expert of what it all means, you know?
Yeah. Well, again, different parts of the body correlate to different aspects of a human's psycho-emotional state. So the backs of the legs have to do with emotional honesty. Now, in Chinese medicine, the left side of the body relates to the feminine. Yes. The right side relates to the masculine.
Yes.
But the left side also relates to how we are with ourselves. The right side relates to how we are with others.
Yes.
The left side relates to how we are with the females in our life. The right side relates to how we are with the males in our life.
Yes.
And then you can go on and say the left comes from the mother, the right comes from the father. So it's kind of very Shakespearean in the sense that there's multiple meanings, but they correlate relative to the masculine, female, feminine dynamic. So let's say you have pain in the left side of your hamstring. It could mean perhaps that it's a lot more difficult for you to be emotionally honest with yourself.
Got it.
It's one of the things. And usually a client will have more sensation or pain on one side versus the other.
Makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
And what about the front of the thighs? Like so you work on the back and then you turn them over.
Yeah, I'll work on the backs, hamstrings and the calves, or the calves they tend to have higher sensation.
Yes.
But then I'll have someone lay on their back and put some pillows underneath their thighs, and then I'll start off, not full weight, but working on kind of like the lateral part of the quadricep into the IT band.
Yeah, that can also hurt like hell.
But
in a good way, it's like actually good pain. It's that pain that's like, oh my God, it hurts, but then you release and it just feels amazing.
Yeah, because you remember with every step, it's like you're pushing out fluids and getting new fluids. You're getting fresh blood, fresh lymph to the area.
Yes.
Which is, it's really powerful. Blood, having those rivers moving in the body, and again, in Chinese medicine, there's 3 rivers in the body. There's blood, lymph, and bioelectricity. So they say where there's pain, there's no flow.
Got it.
So, if those rivers aren't moving the way they should be moving, pain is going to show up. And you really want to get those to flow properly. Because that's what I say to my clients. Like, if you have pain stagnation in your body, you're more likely to have pain stagnation in an area of your life.
Yes.
So let's get in there deep with the breath and get those rivers flowing. Now, the sides of the legs is primarily the gallbladder channel, and the gallbladder is the center for devotion and decision making. So again, how we are in our decision making process, when there's stagnation or pain, a person's more likely to be operating out of a low personality trait.
Got it.
So one of the low sides of the gallbladder meridian is dependency, confusion, that sort of thing. So we really want to, have a person get more clarity. Usually when I'm working on a person and I spend a lot of time working on the gallbladder channel, whether it's with the body work, where I'm walking on them, or some deep resistance work, they'll get up and they'll be like, oh, I feel more clear.
Nice.
Because the gallbladder runs up and it goes around the side of the head as well.
Yes.
So.
Nice. Tell us a little bit about how you got into this work.
Okay, it's interesting. Most of my history was, I was really into studying psychology and nutrition and health, but I hadn't done too much work in terms of understanding how, the body really is the hard drive, and how it stores so much of our history, memories, trapped emotions, trapped consciousness. And so I met a mentor of mine, Christopher, who kind of took me under his wing, and I got to learn these tools and these modalities privately, and he really had a huge impact on my life.
Nice.
And it was transformational. First, it was transformational personally. I was having this work done on me like nonstop, lots of emotional release. I was noticing my reactivity levels were changing. Things that normally would trigger me were no longer triggering me. The world around me started getting slower. Like, I just felt more present.
Yeah.
Because, you know, my nervous system wasn't all jacked up. And a lot of that repression was kind of released. And I got to kind of create more space in my body, which allowed me to explore more of who I am on a deeper level. Yeah. And all of that together, like, impacted me. And, you know, these tools, along with some other bodywork tools I've gained in energy work, and I kind of integrate them all in a given session, depending on what comes up, depending on what the client's needs are. And
you're so good at it, you know.
Oh, thank you.
You are. So what I like about you is you, first of all, this is like, you know, it's body work, you're walking on somebody, and it's very vulnerable to be in that place, because very often there is an emotional release. So as a client, you want to feel safe, like you're in a safe space to release that, and you definitely provide that. You have a beautiful gentleness to you, and you know how to hold space when the feelings do come up, which is definitely a big part of this work.
Yeah, it's really, really important, you know, because you could do the technique, but how do you navigate what comes up, you know?
Yes.
Just holding space. There's no need to talk and try to change it or make sure the person's...
Exactly.
It's just let the movement happen, let the emotions do what they need to do.
Yeah, so if it's like a repressed trauma in your body, it gets released through this work, and it just happens, and it's very powerful.
Yeah, it can. Just to give an example, I had a client come to me for the first time, and you know, I was working on her, and we were working on an area of the body, the sides of the legs. I was going in really deep, and she was breathing relative to what she was feeling, and all of a sudden tears started coming up, and she started crying deeply. Then, after the crying, her body kind of was shaking. And so I stopped what I was doing, I went down and I sat next to her and was holding space, and when she got to the place, she was able to share, like, I haven't felt this feeling since my uncle. And I then asked her, okay, well, what happened? And she shared in the moment that she had been sexually abused when she was younger by her uncle. And you know, it's interesting because the mind can create the story like, I've handled that, I've dealt with it, I'm okay. Yet the body stores the physiological experience of the fear. The memory, And another thing is she got really, really, really cold. Okay. And in this work, when the body gets cold, it's fear leaving the body. When a body gets hot, it's anger leaving the body. So it's another way to gauge, and sometimes you can go back and forth. Yes. And there are times sometimes where I'm working on someone, because my feet are on them, I'm connected to them, I start sweating. Interesting. And so I can kind of gauge, oh, okay, there may be some anger repression happening here. Wow. But there's so many little things that can go on. But at the end of the day, the simplest thing I share is, there's pain in the body, it shouldn't be there. Yeah. And when that pain, that stagnation leaves, I mean, miracles happen. Yeah, because it's a block. You're basically living with blocked. It's a block within your body. Yeah. So my next question is, what are the benefits of this work? You mentioned a few, but what are some things that your clients tell you? Yeah, the main thing always is, things that normally trigger them in life, don't trigger them. That's a good one. Yeah, it's just like, I had a client once, he's like, my girlfriend, like, now she says things to me, and I'm just kind of like, nice. Okay, cool. Just imagine, again, like, your body being Velcro. Yes. Like, some things stick to you, and as you take the stress out of your body, and you expand and create more space, these things just kind of slip off. Yes. And so they don't really affect you in the same way. So, your reactivity levels shift. Emotional balance is a really big positive. More mental clarity. Presence. I mean, I say on my business card, like, one of the big things I talk about are the 3 Ps: power, peace, and presence. And so you get a lot more peace in your life, more presence, and then through that, just more empowered, and you feel more grounded on 2 feet and have more power in your life. So that's Those are the main ones. In addition to like, releasing emotions and being able to express yourself better, communicate your emotions better.
Amazing.
Just have more consciousness.
Yes.
Is huge. And by consciousness, I mean, it's not just awareness. In my view, awareness doesn't equal consciousness. Awareness is not an active state. You're just aware.
Yes.
Many people are aware of things, but then they can't make a different choice.
Yes.
A different decision in life. So to have that space that you create in your body or even in your mind where you're able to then go, normally I would react this way, but now I'm going to go in this direction. I'm going to try to build new neural pathways and release the kind of strong connections of those habitual ways of behaving. And it's, it's a slow process.
Yes.
Sometimes it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back.
Nice.
Because a healing journey it's not all just, everything's great.
Yeah.
I went and sat on a mountain and meditated and now my life's perfect.
Yeah.
You really, I say you have to walk back out the door you came in.
Yes.
So anything that's been pushed down, repressed, ignored.
Exactly. The only way out is through the
it's perfect.
Yeah.
And it's true.
Yeah.
So.
How long is a session? What's a typical session with you?
They're 90 minutes.
Nice.
The first one can be a little longer because there's a little talking, kind of just checking in and seeing where you're at, and just kind of, there's more talking before we get into it.
Yeah.
Then I'll usually start all my clients on, I have a sonic vibration machine.
Nice.
So I'll place them on there for about 10 minutes. It really helps move some lymphatic fluid and kind of shake the body up so the work that we're about to do goes deeper.
Beautiful.
And then I'll start off foundationally with having the person lie down on their belly, and I'll start working on the backs of their legs, on the bladder meridian, hamstrings, calves. Usually turn them over, work on the sides of their legs. Again, if we get to that, sometimes, I only get to working on the hamstrings because there could be like 30, 40 minutes of emotional release.
Yeah, amazing.
That's not the case for everyone because by nature, some people are more emotional than others.
Yes.
So crying isn't like, if you didn't cry, it wasn't a success. It's not about that, but it can happen. And then after the modality where I'm, walking on people, I'll do some resistance work, where it's kind of assisted resistance work where we're strengthening the body, stretching the body, and opening up energy channels that correlate with different muscle groups.
Got it.
And depending on the client and what they're open to, there's a verbal energetic clearing that I do at the end. Sometimes I like doing some cranial work and some footwork to end the session, just to kind of touch like positive, pole, negative pole of the body. There's some things from cranial and polarity. Sometimes I'll integrate in. Again, it depends.
Nice.
But that's kind of like a general session, how it would go.
Beautiful, nice. And then how many sessions do you think a person needs? Because one session is amazing, but what if somebody was going to come to you and experience like deeper healing, what would that look like?
Yeah, so the cumulative effect is obviously more powerful. I recommend people, if they can do 10 sessions with me pretty close together, you're going to experience profound shift.
I can see that, definitely.
Ideally, once a week for 10 sessions would be really great. And some people stay on. They'll come back once a month.
Makes sense.
Tweak, but there's some exercises I show people to do on their own, some resistance work, so they can be empowered to do the work on themselves.
Yeah.
There's some somatics kind of self-massage work. It's also known as like myofascial release work, where using different tools, you're working on kind of breaking down adhesions in your own body, rolling out your tissues, using various tools like a hard medicine ball or a PVC pipe or a lacrosse ball. Those are different things that I'll tell people to do in between sessions.
Nice. How and where can people find you? So you're based in LA?
Yeah, I'm based in Los Angeles. I'm going to be working, I'm hoping to go back to New York City to work on clients. I have some clients there. I work out of Arizona. I've been there recently. I have some clients there, but primarily Los Angeles. I'm in Santa Monica near Venice.
Nice.
And my website's a real basic introduction to my work. It's healingwithyerasimos.com.
Nice, and I'll put the link.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I'm on Instagram at healingwithyerasimos. And my personal Facebook page is www.facebook.com/Yerasimos, but it's my personal page. But I'm usually sharing different articles, not just related to body work, but how to achieve optimal health and different forms of biohacking one can do.
Nice.
Just things that I'm passionate about.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yes, I do have a question.
Great.
So, as you know, I'm a heart healer.
Yes, you are.
So, what is your recommendation as a healer to heal a broken heart?
Oh, wow.
I know.
The first thing I'll say is feel your feelings. When the urge comes up to distract yourself from your feelings, be it through, drinking, Facebook, food, sex, whatever, everyone has their own flavor of how we self-soothe. Catch yourself. And if you have a prayer or a mantra or, the Ho'oponopono or in that moment, and stick with it, feel the feeling, so then that urge to change behavior will dissipate.
Yes.
So feeling the feelings is the main one.
Beautiful.
Have support, people like yourself, people like me.
Yes.
Reach out for support, because I don't care how conscious you are and how much work you've done. If you've gone through a heartbreak, you have to give it the time.
Yes, exactly.
There's no miracle well, I've done this workshop 32 times and I've done this, and if I break my heart, I'm fine.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, no, we're not fine.
It was 4 years ago I went through a breakup, a short one, and it rocked me.
Yeah.
But I had enough consciousness, I knew it was the best thing that was happening to me at that moment. As much as I was in it, and even at that time, I wasn't drinking, I was off caffeine, sugar. I didn't have some usual things to turn to, and it was powerful. It's like the Rumi quote, it's one of my favorite Rumi quotes. It's, you have to keep breaking your heart so it could open.
Yes.
So I think heartbreak can serve for a lot of positivity ultimately in one's life, if you take it that way.
Yes.
Because in my current relationship, I think having my heart broken, and now with my fiance, I'm able to love and receive love and hold space in a way that I probably wouldn't have if my heart wasn't broken.
Got it. Yeah.
If that
it's like you go deeper, you have a depth that you can now offer that maybe you haven't before.
Yeah. So those are, support and feeling your feelings, nurturing yourself, taking baths when you need to, listen to music, and just really take care of yourself.
Nice.
I think are some of the most important things. And reach out to the people you trust, the healers that you're into, and just get support.
Nice.
Those are kind of the main things.
I love that. That's a great answer. Yeah, I totally agree 100%.
Cool.
Yeah, beautiful.
We're on the same page.
Yes, we are. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Yerasimos.
Yeah, thank you very much, Melissa.
And all the best with your amazing practice.
And
I highly recommend booking him if you're in LA or New York, Arizona.
Yeah, I'll probably be visiting there at some point.
Add him on Facebook.
Yeah, please do. Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. And thank you for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.